Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences, my dear fellow Americans. Welcome to the, once again, weekly update. Every Friday, we sit together. I have the pleasure that I have a big brother, Ken Hemming, from the right-hand side, from where the Constitution comes from,
yes, sir.
if I may, to share his thoughts about the events that happened during the week from his take. Yes, of course, the past week had been busy. I mean, when I say the past week, I say the days past for this week had been busy. And the biggest subject is still focused on the North Korean and the United States meeting, right? The two big guys meeting. Well, anyway, I hate to call him the big guy too,
Yes.
but he is on the biggest matter anyway.
Yes, sir.
He's the one, so he has to be big. With me, Mr. Ken Hemming, my dear brother, political commentator. I hate to use that term. I would rather say avuncular brother, kind of brother. How about that? Right?
Thank you.
All right, good. So welcome to the show.
It's the happiest hour of my week with your viewers and you in the blessing of Mr. Sue. Doesn't get better.
Right, good, very
Life
good.
does not get better.
I like your statement the other day you made at the presentation award to you.
Yes.
You were saying that the 200 hours, right, stand for 200 weeks.
Right.
And 200 weeks stretch into 5 or 6 years.
Right.
And those were the happiest moment of your life.
Well, they are. And then I look back to see what I looked like 4 years ago, and boy, it's not a real good trend, Jack, but I do my best.
Oh, yeah? Come on. You look,
it's fun to look at. It's fun to watch yourself age.
you look better than yesterday, worse than tomorrow. How about that?
I may be happier. Yes, you're right.
Right? Okay.
Worse than tomorrow. I love that.
Yeah. Better than yesterday, worse than tomorrow.
I'll drink to that tonight.
Very good. Drink that tonight. Okay. Now, back to business. Our business will be the first one. We're talking about the letters.
Yes.
2 letters. I'm talking about the letter from Donald Trump to Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
And the second letter from Kim Jong-un to Donald Trump. All
Yes.
talking about the coming event.
The June 12th possible event, yeah.
Your take?
Well, you know, the letter that President Trump wrote to the leader of North Korea truly was a work of art because it was a balance and it was very clearly emphasized that he dictated the whole thing. It was a balance with kindness and warmth and hope, with also because Kim Il-jung had kind of said, well, if I have to meet you in a nuclear conflict, we will. And yet then Trump just made it clear that you won't win that if that's the case. But it was nice. I mean, this is a gentleman over there in North Korea.
You mean the denial letter or the
but it was written nicely.
I'm talking about the letter prior to notify him that I canceled that show.
That's why I think I
canceled
am too.
that meeting. That's
Right.
That's the letter you're talking
Yes,
about, right?
yeah.
And that is the letter where he mentioned that the Kim Jong-un might have missed the chance,
Right.
the biggest chance, or
Right.
golden chance,
to help the people of North Korea.
the people of North Korea,
Right.
to improve the whole nation, the whole country.
Yeah.
Right.
And then now, as we speak at the White House, the second in command in North Korea is in the White House delivering a letter from the North Korean leader to our president. And I haven't been able to see it because it hasn't not been released. They said though that the letter is not a commitment on North Korea's part to denuclearize the peninsula, but that it is encouraging and offering that let's get together. Let's get together. It's not going to be you spend 2 hours together, shake hands, give each other a hug, and then they denuclearize. It will be a process that will take time, but it's the only way for good things to happen in North Korea and America.
The term denuclearization is
Right.
only a term now. I don't see anything close, right?
Well,
Yesterday, as a matter of fact, last night I came across one comment that's very profound, talking about the explosion of, the demolition, that there's the so-called demolition.
possible, yeah.
Possible demolition
Their test site.
that happened a week ago.
Yeah.
Right. And it says what? And the whole thing did not even look like a nuclear facility.
I don't know what it was.
People
'cause
from people
Yeah.
of the inside.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, it was two of abandoned coal mines.
Jack,
Coal
can we
mine
trust?
wells.
We cannot trust North Korea. Okay, so we must
They
distrust.
won. They won. Remember, we agreed on one thing. A quote from Ronald Reagan said, "We
Trust but verify.
trust but verify."
Right.
Right. Now,
was
those two
no
holes.
verification.
Those two holes on the ground were two wells of a coal mine.
Okay.
It looked like a coal mine.
Okay.
All right. Number two, the supplementing facilities around
Yes.
the site
Yeah.
do not look anything related with with the nuclear system.
Well, they said there were barracks for the people that worked there. That could have also been for the coal miners that worked there. Right.
And there were barriers, and there are lines to stop reporters going any further.
Correct.
Right. And yet, everybody on site, nobody wears those protection. All they had was a helmet.
Well, it wasn't a nuclear explosion, but yeah, they were.
No. They say at the demolition, when that explosion,
Yeah.
it disperses out.
Sure.
Disperses the residuals of the radiation.
Okay.
Of
Makes
the
sense.
radiative
Yeah.
materials
So
or element or whatsoever
Yeah.
exploding in the air. So
Yeah.
people in the surroundings are supposed to wear protections,
Yeah.
right? Or nobody, including their people, wear any protection.
I have no confidence that explosion or explosions had anything to do with progress toward denuclearization.
But the thing is that why would they do the show?
Well, they're showmen. They're just trying to pretend. They've done it. They
That was
snookered Obama, Bush.
That was prior
yeah.
to Kim Jong-un's denial of the meeting.
Okay.
Right? He first did something, quote unquote, to denuclearize the system, and for which he made a show, and then wrote a letter to deny the meeting, which was focused on what he's doing. So they're going in different directions.
Let me say something kind of risky, but sincere, and it may be wrong. But if a year from now, North Korea will either be denuclearized with verification of our people on site, or their leader will probably be dead. It's not going to just drag on and drag on. And I think that's the reality. And I think John Bolton, our national security advisor, feels the same. Now, I am praying every day for peace.
Given the characteristics of Donald Trump, that could
It's possible. Maybe probable.
Could very likely happen.
He's not going to be dragged on and played with. He's too smart, okay? And so...
And plus, he doesn't have the patience.
Well, you know what? I've read The Art of the Deal. Yes, it takes patience to walk out and then to wait for something else to happen. For example, the patience with the tariffs, Jack, right now
patience
is perfect.
Patience has a foundation. The foundation is that the person has to be alive.
I think he has patience, but he doesn't have tolerance for them continuing to develop.
Okay, put it that way. That probably will be more precise.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they both were going with the letter going back and forth, kind of like rattling on an olive or something.
Yes. Right. Olive branch.
Do you think that meeting, we're talking about 2 weeks down the road? Only
June 12th.
Less than 2 weeks down the road.
Right.
So, do you think that really is going to happen?
I think right now it's over 50%. Might be 52 to 48 or something. I think it's going to happen. Otherwise, it'll happen a week or two later.
Okay, now.
We have people there preparing.
Let's say it does happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Then what happens?
Okay, then I said, okay, let's say it does happen, right? And then he goes back to do his denuclearization, right? Which would be the thing that we saw 2 weeks ago, the blow up two or whatever, a couple of coal mines. So
we will never.
What if he goes back playing the same game?
He will never be trusted that, okay, I'm going to go do it, okay? Number one, I don't think there'll be an agreement at their first meeting. I think there'll be a series, a couple or 3 or 4, whatever meetings. We also know that North Korea people, our people, I mean, they're working out details of what can be accepted or not. But there's no way we're going to trust them in any way. We have to have our humans on site to verify.
What's happening around? Look to my eye, is just a kind of like a detente.
Detente won't last. It won't happen.
I know.
Yeah.
The purpose will be a policy whatsoever to push for a detente.
Yeah.
Right. And during the time interval, he can do whatever he chooses to do.
It won't happen. Detente will not happen.
Will not happen?
No, we don't have time. We don't have time to take a break.
Okay, anyway. Okay, my dear friends, with me today on the Weekly Up Today, the first issue, we kind of stuck here with the meeting of June 12th in Singapore between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. So with me, my friend Ken Hemming, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Hello, my dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. The past week has been busy, and the past days have been important because we have lots of funny things happening. I would say the funniest, probably even funnier than any funniest is that somebody who was assassinated reportedly all of a sudden comes back alive.
2 days later.
2 days later, right?
Yeah.
So you want to update my audience a little bit?
Yeah, this is very interesting because we all know that Putin, the leader of Russia, used to be head of their KGB. And as such, we know he's a thug, he's a murderer, he's a torturer. He's not a sweetheart, okay? I wouldn't want him to date my daughter, put it that way.
Okay, all right.
And who is married. So this journalist, okay, I can't pronounce his name, so apologize for that. They faked an assassination of him because there are agents in Russia in this area where they're targeting dissident journalists to be assassinated. I just saw one person that the police arrested thinking that he was an agent and his job was to assassinate some journalists. And so this fellow, they faked it because he was a target, and supposedly they had information and proof that he was going to be killed. So they faked this assassination. I listened to the gentleman when he came back 2 days later, and they said that, well, he had to pretend that he was dead. He had real blood all over him, and he had to be laying on the whatever that goes into the morgue and everything, and then they hid him in a safe place for a couple days. We don't know for sure whether his wife knew or not about that it was fake or not, because there were parts of the time they say his wife didn't know she went through mourning.
When they play that way, they have to play.
They have to play it all the way.
In a very, very, very real way.
Yeah.
Right.
And now he's under, he's under great guards that trying to protect his life and other journalists that, they're like in Russia, you can't dissent. If you don't agree with Putin and everything he wants, you're in big trouble.
The details are kind of like even more vivid, almost like reading a novel, reading a fiction, right? Okay, what happened was that, according to what I read, I may be wrong, maybe the source of information be wrong, I make it clear to my audiences. It was a hired assassin.
Yes, sir.
Right, who hired another.
Okay.
Right, and it was for $40,000
Okay.
to the first assassin. And the first assassin subcontracted to a second assassin for the amount of $30,000.
So he could keep 10,000 without doing anything.
He kept 10.
That's good. That's part of the deal.
He arranged the whole thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He arranged the whole thing. Now, the second assassin get paid half the money for deposit.
Okay.
All right.
And then after,
And that's exactly the beauty of it.
yeah.
And that's exactly why they play the fake death.
Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, they did not mention is it a half and half or 10-20 whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just say 15. Okay. 15.
Sure.
All right. 15 paid up front
Yeah.
as deposit to get the job done.
Yeah.
Right now, on learning that thing, the Ukrainians work it out a way that to fake the whole death, right? Assuming
They did a good job of that.
that the assassin must go for the remainder of the payment,
Yes, sir.
and then they wiretapped everything possible.
Yeah.
They had some kind of lead lines of who might be those possible target, right?
Okay.
They wiretapped all the target, and then there goes the guy say, "Hey, put money to the account, job is done." See the news?
Oh, yeah, right.
Like that?
Right.
And by
Right.
tracing the transaction
Yeah.
all the way, the money, by tracing the transaction of the money, it goes all the way, find out
Who?
who did it.
Yeah.
And even the first guy, and even the boss behind.
Yes,
Okay, now,
right.
when everything is okay, is squared out, all of a sudden they put up
guy
another
comes,
news release.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
You know what's interesting? Say you take your 15,000, okay, half of it. Then if you don't finish the job, they're going to come and kill you. So because you can't just take the 15 and disappear.
Yeah. And the 15, if you can't get the job done, you can't even pay back.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
That's not the way the game is played.
Yeah, I failed. Here's your money back. Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not a game.
It's
serious.
The game is
Yeah,
not
we
played
agree.
that way.
We
You
agree.
must get the job done.
Yeah.
Or you're dead.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So now in this case, the guy says the job done. All right, look at it. Look at the news.
Right,
The
yeah.
job's done.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. We'll wire the money.
Yeah.
And the money wired during transfer, and everything was caught.
And Jack, when journalists were interviewing the gentleman who faked his death, okay, with help, obviously, they were saying, do you think that was fair you did that? Because now people won't trust, we all reported your death. Now people won't trust journalists, okay? So maybe you shouldn't have done that. And his answer, quite commonsensibly, was, I was going to die. I will do what I have to do to live. And so, yes, I have no regrets for what we did.
Of course.
But it's so
Nobody should
ridiculous
regret.
that these journalists are criticizing him for doing...
No.
They were.
That criticism is crazy. So,
Yes, it is. It's
okay,
crazy,
now,
yeah.
Now, on this global
I'd
Earth...
go, good job,
yeah,
man.
of course. On this global Earth, nothing values more than human life.
That's right.
Than
Jim.
human life.
Thank you.
Right?
You're right.
Now, and at any cost, all right, remember the, let me see.
You're so good.
Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Right.
Remember the Iranian hostage deals?
Okay.
Remember the 3 men just released?
Yes, sir.
Right,
Hallelujah.
good. We'll do everything we can to save lives.
Protect human life.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Now, of course, including lying.
Yeah.
When necessary, friendly lie,
Yeah.
good purpose lie, can be arranged. And as a matter of fact, it is the lie that saved the guy's life.
Well, that's right. Exactly. And
Right.
so to be criticized for participating in something that creates some distrust in the journalism is pure insanity.
And I believe FBI is behind it. CIA is behind it.
Yeah, that I don't know. Yeah.
I believe, because by look at the job, the beautiful job that they have done.
They did it well.
Well, somebody who did it must have done a very, very good job.
They did it well.
But question is that, would he stay alive?
Well, you know, I think he can't just walk.
Meet a second death.
I think he can't just walk the streets and go to Starbucks, have a cigarette.
No,
you know,
no.
he's got to. You know, actually, the greatest thing is we should offer him asylum in America. Come over here.
Not this life.
Yeah, no, he's in danger. Period. Always, because Putin doesn't quit.
No. It all depends. It all depends what kind of secrecy he still has.
Well, that's right.
If he has nothing, well, the bad deal is a bad deal.
If he goes to work every day, he's in
whatsoever,
trouble.
whatsoever.
Right.
And the point is that if he still holds the core value of their whatsoever, the secrecy though, and no matter where he goes, and regardless if he goes to the North Pole or South Pole, somebody's going to be on his tail forever.
He's a target forever.
He's a target forever.
And also, so's his family, so's his wife. I mean, that's what these people do that are evil. They'll try to inflict the pain as much as possible on you.
And after all, it's only a reporter. And after all, it's only an article.
Right, I know. You're right. You're right. But so anyway, I think it was a very interesting story. I remember when they announced he was assassinated, and et cetera, and then they had called a press conference 2 days later, and they didn't. The people there, the reporters didn't know what it was about, and the guy comes walking out, and they go, "Oh my goodness, what is going on? Oh my goodness!"
Yeah, everybody's surprised.
Is that unbelievable?
But the thing is that I want to flip the page from the surface to look into the inside, for a comparison of United States. Here in our country, in this country, we're talking about reporters have the most extent of freedom of speech. Okay, did you see the film Post?
No, I did not. About the Washington Post?
About what?
No,
about
I
Washington
did not.
Post.
I failed.
That's exactly the contrary of it, right?
See,
so if you still argue, anybody still argue with me, so that we are not as good as Vladimir Putin.
Right. We have our own problems.
We do have a problem, our own problem.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we.
Well, we're not. Yeah.
We're not.
We're not evil. But now, if you look at the daily or weekly, whatever press conferences held in the White House with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. In the old days, the reporters were always polite. Often right now, they're nasty with their questions. They're aggressive, and it's inappropriate.
Exactly.
Now, she handles it wonderfully. She's unoffendable like me.
That's the other side.
I'm proud of her.
That's the other side of the story.
Yeah.
That's the other side. We're talking about the freedom we have as a reporter. Okay, I'm one. I can show you.
You are a massive reporter, yes.
See? This is my press card, right? This is my press card, okay?
I'm jealous.
So I mean that here in this country, reporter enjoys the most freedom. Global Earth, as human beings, can be offered
access to information.
So I feel proud of that comparison. Lots of other countries, people do not have that luxuries.
Absolutely not.
There's a luxury.
Try it in Venezuela.
Right. Okay.
Anywhere. Yeah. Right.
Anywhere. In North Korea, you get killed.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Right away, but maybe by a dog.
Right.
And then eaten by a dog or something like that.
They've done a lot of bad things, but yes, because really. But we have our problems here in America, where right now, like the radical left, they could say horrible things about Melania Trump or Ivanka Trump, but they're not losing their jobs.
They're getting big mouth.
You know what? They're going to pay for it.
They're losing their
the backlash is coming to them.
Some dignity or so ever.
Right. They've lost dignity.
And I recall there was one time Senator Feinstein was facing a reporter.
Yes, sir.
Right. A reporter over and over again addressed her as ma'am.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, "Would you excuse me, address me
as senator?
Senator is the title I've been working my whole life for."
Right. Yeah.
So,
whatever. That's her choice.
Kind of like cause a red face, right?
I didn't vote for her.
No, I know, but
no, I'm just kidding.
Politically, we're talking about different things. We're talking about as a civilized society.
Right.
Yeah. What we do. All right, my dear friends, today with my dear brother Ken Hemming, and this is another session of the weekly update. interesting enough. And that after this short break, we will come back to do something domestic. And we have some issues domestically. And we have a lot to talk about, either at the federal level and or federal versus state level. So stay with us, please. Hello, dear folks, lovely audiences. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the weekly update of East West with GNE TV. Ken Hamming is with me today. We had two international issues addressed. Now, domestically, we want to do another two to balance it. And what is on your list of domestic issues? Oh, by the way, I like your smile.
Yeah, I'm cracking up because you've called me lots of names, but this is the first time you called me a John. So it's good.
Yeah, remember?
Alan Brown?
Alan Brown, Alan Brown, right?
We used to call his name
Alan
wrong
Brown.
all the time.
Oh, John for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I appreciate it. I'd like you to use different names for me every time you refer to me. I'm split personality.
I call different names of you. I've never called your names.
Yeah.
All right?
Right.
All right, good.
But I like that. I really call people wrong names a lot. People
you scare me all of a sudden.
my face is
like
just cracking up.
Okay,
yeah.
Very good, cracking up.
But okay, so what I understand today that I heard with some details is that in the San Diego County area, their sheriffs and their police have released approximately 400 felons, criminals without coordinating with ICE and letting ICE know, which is our police force for capturing felons and deporting them. Now this is 400 people, okay? This is all about this ridiculous sanctuary state situation.
Are they homegrown criminals or imported criminals?
Oh, probably both. Yeah, I don't have a body count on that, Jack, but probably both. But probably way majority would be illegal immigrants. But these are people that are criminals that have hurt our people. As we're talking right now, in the last few days, they've released 400, about 3 or 4 days, so over a period of time, about 400. And right now, some of those may be doing criminal activities on my daughter, your son, just regular American citizens. That should not happen. And why are we prioritizing giving greater freedom and comfort to continue your career as a criminal without punishing or deporting them? I am ashamed to be a Californian. I've said that before. This state has problems that can't be conceived of in relation to America and what America stands for.
I would have to argue a little bit.
Sure.
Not argue. I would have to remind you or remind the public a little bit that it might be as simple as what the news says.
What does that mean?
Okay. Yeah. And if you were talking about all the 400 criminals,
yep.
Right? It depends what kind of criminals. Criminals convicted.
Yeah.
Not convicted.
They were in custody and they were released. So
and,
yes.
Criminals who served the time or have not served time or not finish serving time.
Well, I really, really like everything you're saying. The only thing I will say is those that are illegal. And when you're illegal, you're supposed to not be here. And you're supposed to be deported by ICE in America. And if you've done a crime, do the time.
Remember,
there's no easy way, there's no way you can release people.
Remember quite a few times, you and I, when we were on that issue though, we came to one agreement that at least the convicted felons among the illegal immigrants, they have to go right away.
Yeah, either to prison or back to their homeland.
All right.
Right.
Now, and prison is only a transit. Well, the target would be the homeland, with their homeland, right?
Well, yeah.
So, in other words, put them in custody for 3 years whatsoever, and
And then you go right from prison back to your homeland.
go right across the borders to where they belong.
Well, and some of the borders are way in South America too. They're not all Mexico, so
okay.
There's a lot of different countries.
But to release it right on the spot of San Diego County, though, is not a responsible.
It's immoral.
activity.
It's illegal, and it has no common sense. We are supposed to protect our citizens that live here.
Let
and they're not doing it.
alone the fact that there might be the homegrown,
right,
who has not served enough times of serving time,
right,
and they're released onto the street.
Right. Well, and we have case after case after case where somebody's been released, and then 2 days later they kill somebody, they do something else horrible. These are our
good
people.
Good example. I can do it right away. Is that the one who killed Officer Boyer of Downey?
Okay.
Of Fullerton or Downey?
Okay.
Fullerton, all right. Downey.
He's here.
Downey, right?
A local man.
And was released a few days.
Yeah.
And that day, the very day, he committed 2 crimes. He killed somebody, his own cousin in the morning, and Officer Boyer in the afternoon.
It's a tragedy that should not happen. It only happens because of the radical left ideology.
No, I'm not talking about right or left, right?
Well,
I am talking about, as taxpayer, we hate to see that. We can't afford seeing that
as a
happen.
human, we hate to see it. This is a guy dead.
Probably we should we'll talk about this with Bob Lindsay, see where he stands for it.
Let's bring him.
Because you know Bob Lindsay,
yes,
right?
I do.
Okay. Oh, by the way, please vote for him. He's a good guy, and he deserves the job.
Okay.
I believe he deserves that, and California deserves, and Southern California, L.A. When you talk about Southern California, you call it a bigger Los Angeles. The first L.A. as a county deserves to have that.
You know, I want to give your network too, credit that you provide a forum for some candidates to share their philosophies with potential voters out here.
Sure.
And I don't think you just do this kind or that kind. You give people access.
Yeah, from all directions.
So I thank you on behalf of all our people for doing that.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
EDI, as a news
You're
media,
involved.
If I use a quote from my boss, James Su, that we are a responsible news media.
Right.
Responsible, and the everything is in the word responsible.
Well, and I'm happy to say if he's your boss, then he's my boss too, because you're my boss, Jack.
Oh my God, you're sweet. So, okay, for that I'm not done yet, because at which level, who made the decision? I mean, the power of release was in whose hand?
The buck stops at the governor's desk. Just like when Harry Truman said the buck stops at my desk way back in 1948. It goes right up to the governor. The governor's in charge of the state, governing the state, and he's the one leading this erosion of common sense law enforcement in California. And so that's who is responsible and at fault. Governor Jerry Brown.
With AB 109, we do have AB 109 and the lots of following prepositions, let's say like 47, like 57, right?
Okay.
We are having problem with so many of I call walking criminals on the street.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
And you could be a victim, your daughter, your son, your whoever, your wife, your husband could be a victim the next minute. Right, like that. Now
Absolutely.
we have an additional 400.
Right.
Right.
And guaranteed, some of them, I can't pick a number, will do some bad things. Now, let me remind you of one thing too, Jack, because I don't expect you weren't here at the time, but way back, Governor Brown was a governor back in the 70s in California also, okay? And his dad was governor, Edmund G. Pat Brown. But at that time, Governor Brown, Jerry Brown, did everything he could to oppose Vietnamese refugees coming in from the Vietnam War. He was completely anti-immigrant, and we have him making statements and all these things back then. Now, I don't know what he's evolved to, but he's evolved to an open border guy to try to get
I heard
votes.
that moment. I heard that moment. That people deny themselves all the time.
Right.
Like they, Jared Brown is in particular on the immigration issue in particular.
Totally opposed to them.
Now, I have no problem with the sanctuary state or sanctuary city or sanctuary whatsoever.
You don't?
Right? I don't.
I do.
I have conditions. The prerequisite is that you punish the criminals.
You know what? I just completely opposed to any sanctuary
You
concept, and that's
you
my
punish the
right,
criminals.
and you have
You
yours.
deport. Yeah, of course. You deport the criminals. You punish them. You deport them. You keep the good ones. You keep the law-abiding ones. Law-abiding ones, right?
They're not law-abiding when they came here illegally. That is a crime.
no.
Well, anyway, so we could talk about that for 3 weeks.
Time is up. We'll forget that issue. We've been arguing a lot.
And as you like to say, Ken, time for you to shut up. Okay, I will.
And I shut myself off too. Okay, my friends. Let's take a short moment. We come back. We'll continue right away. Thank you. Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with the GNE TV. Today, with the weekly update, I have fun with my friend Ken Hemming. You know that for the past 6 years. Oh, by the way, 2 weeks ago on a Friday, he earned a award to recognize for his great honor of having finished 200 shows.
Great honor for me, Jack. Thank you and Mr. Sue so much, and your viewers for allowing me to hang out with them.
Oh, yeah, I believe that they are happy that they have you as a friend, so close to the community, that every time they hear from you about your take.
Right, I am their friend. They have my heart.
All right, good. Thank you very much. And we're a mutually thankful people.
We are.
You know,
we're blessed.
We know that we have to have a mind of thankfulness. Yeah. Right. People who does not know how to thank people.
Well, the truth also is, you say something to me, I say something to you, but when I say something to you, I'm not talking to you. We're talking to them. You say something to me, you're talking to your viewers.
We argue,
this is true.
When we argue, the worst thing we say is shut up.
Yeah, that's nice.
No, we don't say to you, to each other, shut up.
Yeah.
And we say to ourselves,
right.
I'll shut up.
Yeah.
How about that?
But we're really talking to your viewers, and it's an honor that they listen to us.
We all understand that. We understand the final beneficiary are my audiences.
It's who we serve.
We're mutually supportive. That's it.
It's fantastic.
We're supportive.
Fantastic.
Okay, now to the domestic part, I believe that the medicine price that Donald Trump has just assigned to let the government get involved, to negotiate, to give them a limit of what they can make.
Yeah.
Right. It's a huge deal.
Well, you know, pharma, big pharmaceuticals, okay, it takes many years to get these things approved by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration. One thing President Trump is doing is really trying to shorten that lifespan, that span to get approved. But then and it costs so much money to get things approved that some of these pills or medicines are priced at a very, very high cost, you know, well in excess of actually creating the medicine, but it's making up for our research and development costs, which are huge to get the medicines. But he's trying to, bring these prices down, because many people die because they can't even with insurance, can't afford to take these
The
medicines.
subject matter can be divided
Huge.
into different categories or different areas of a whole category.
Yes, sir.
One thing we do recognize, we do agree, we do not argue with is that it takes a long time, so many years, sometimes 10 or 20 years, to have invented a medicine.
Right, to
Right?
get it approved.
No. This
Yeah.
is one thing.
Well, to create
and
it, yeah.
then to create.
Right.
To even create it.
Yeah, you're right.
From the microscope to a palate.
Yeah.
Right? And as for a palate, from the palate to a patient.
Right.
And takes maybe longer time for FDA
Right.
to approve. That is a fact. During the which period they pay their employees. Everybody needs
sure.
to eat,
Yeah.
right? That is a fact. But that doesn't mean we give them the freedom of charging us
Whatever.
sky high.
Right.
I was once invited by a firm doing a film production, right?
Okay,
And
nice.
that was a film production for medicine and medicine price, or
Okay.
something like that. right?
Nice.
Okay. And the examples, I do remember even these days vividly, that for a pill, anti-suppression kind of pill, I
Sure.
don't know,
Yeah.
but
But something valuable.
whose production cost of production was 0.3 cents.
Okay.
Cents.
Yeah.
0.3 cents. Right. And they charge how you can't imagine how much
But the R&D that went into creating
to the
pill.
patient, to a patient, right?
Right.
And no matter whoever pays it,
Right.
either the patient or the system or whoever,
Right.
the price is $163.
Right.
Per.
But see, and it's unlike in manufacturing where here's what it costs to build a car. There's so much money spent to get it to the point where they can produce it.
I don't think they can charge that much, right?
Well,
we
you
agree
know,
with the
it's-
fact that they can get the money recovered, but not that much.
Yeah, it's a very tricky thing. But let me mention one thing that maybe is one of the greatest things that President Trump has done since he became president. I just watched the ceremony where he signed a law for right to try. And he had,
right
when
to
people
try,
are
yes.
terminally ill and it hasn't gone through the FDA yet, they go to Mexico, they go to Europe, they try everything. Now in America, even though it hasn't been gone through the whole FDA thing, and these people are terminally ill, they're going to die, they have a right to try. And I love that so much.
Yes.
And there were people there that were just so deeply, desperately appreciative. This is a big thing for America.
Remember a while ago I said the subject matter can be divided into different sections
Yeah, exactly.
of the same
Right.
category.
Pricing
right?
is one.
Yeah, pricing the one. This is exactly
Trying
one of
is
the
another.
one of the sections that we're talking about under the same category. That is, okay, now between the release of the pill
Yeah.
to approval of the pill, right?
Yeah.
In between, somebody dying might need it.
Hundreds,
And yet by the current
thousands,
law, by
yes.
the previous law whatsoever,
You
now
can't get it.
you can get it. Now you can get it.
Now
but
you can try.
can't before. Right?
Many will fail. Okay, I mean, but they have hope. When you try something, you have hope. And hope is also a strong component of fighting illness and death.
Especially when the hope is versus death,
Absolutely.
and might be this very person's only last chance.
Right. And I'll tell you, I'd rather die with hope than with despair.
And then they say, well, a lot more likely they say, if I die, I'm willing to die.
You know,
What if I'm saved?
right.
What if
And
I
some
survive
are
with it,
saved.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So
It's big.
In other words, let it function
Yeah.
the most way it can.
Yeah.
Right. And I would say if you
This
are
was big.
talking about which is the biggest issue, this one is the biggest issue.
It's huge.
Looks to me.
Getting the prices down and getting the opportunity to try experimental drugs, medicines,
Sure.
is huge.
And also, Ken, in the whole category, there's another part that I do not agree. I need to check with you.
Yes, sir.
If you agree, right? We taxpayers, we are so generous-minded. we agree to things that we never thought we will agree.
That's
We
true.
capitulate to things down to the last point.
And sometimes we don't even know
And
it.
now when we are taking money out of our own pocket, right? Of course the government pays. And
Yeah.
where does the money come from? It is still out of my pocket. It's my tax money, right?
Absolutely.
Thing.
Yeah.
I don't want the illegal immigrants to share that with me. That is my take.
Correct. I agree.
Okay. Now I capitulate myself to a point that, okay, I can mingle with them, I can neighbor with them, and I can be friend with them. Okay, it is okay, right? Especially in a situation when every single one is richer than I am.
That's true too, Jack. I know. I understand.
They have money.
I understand.
They have
And
more
they're not
money
paying
than
taxes.
I
I
do.
know
They're
you're
not
paying
taxes.
taxes. And I know you are.
Yeah, they're not paying taxes.
Right.
They have tons of money, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then you give them my medication,
Right.
my medicine.
Right. Well, that's what they're
I
talking
don't
about in
think that's
California
fair.
now, to expand Medi-Cal to take care
A
of
few days
everybody,
ago,
legal or
a few
illegal.
days ago,
we can't afford it.
A few days ago, I went to the what is the Pachanga? What is
Oh, casino?
Oh yeah, but no, not a casino. No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I do not have the money to go to the casino.
Yeah, right.
I go to the outlet.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right. Oh,
right?
I like those.
You know what I saw in the outlet?
Tell me.
And those people, they are off their bus.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
They went to the first thing they can go. They
Yeah.
went to suitcase.
Yeah.
Each, every one of them, was dragging 2 suitcases.
So they can fill them with good buys.
Yeah.
Right.
Going door to by door.
Right.
Versace,
Right.
C&K, whatsoever, Chanel, all along. Those names I've never heard of.
Yeah, right,
And
right.
Fill that in.
Yeah.
Those are the people.
Yeah.
They have money,
Yeah.
and they are relying on our system to get the benefit from,
Yep.
by which we provide them our medication. I don't think that's fair.
Well, Jack, I'm just going to say it again. Build the wall. We need the wall, and
No,
we
no, no,
will
no,
get
no.
the wall. It's the same thing.
I even
Yeah.
argue with you.
Yeah.
I still do
Yeah.
with the wall concept because the wall doesn't stop. Physically, it doesn't stop.
Well, why
Anyway.
does China have a wall?
No, that was a different time.
It's the same time.
There was no Wi-Fi. China had a wall because there was no Wi-Fi, right?
Well,
Okay,
anyway,
how about that? How
we'll
about
have
that? Sure.
We
Now,
need a wall.
I'm talking, let's focus on this whole thing, this
Yeah.
whole issue, this single issue that I, Jack Chow, of course, by the way, whatever I say
Yeah.
represents only myself, my personal opinion. It doesn't represent the system, the firm, the company, the whole team, EDI, G&E TV, nothing at all.
And it does not necessarily represent me.
No. It is only my personal point of view.
Yes, sir.
And
Which I
my
respect.
personal point of view is such
Yeah.
that I don't agree. I feel a hard time understanding them, why they give the illegals,
Yeah.
right?
It's not right.
To
They don't do it in other countries. Trust
give
me.
them the benefit.
Right. I know.
Emergency, okay.
Emergency, of course.
Emergency,
I'll do
okay.
anything to help people in true need. Yes.
You're diabetic, I'm a diabetic,
Right,
okay?
right, yeah.
I
Hey,
pay
you need some
tax,
blood,
I
you
work
need
hard,
whatever.
I'm working my, whatever.
You do. Yeah.
for whatever I have.
You do,
right?
Jack, yes.
And you don't.
You're
so
a wonderful
you don't get it.
citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, my dear friend, my lovely audience, that wraps up a little bit over time, but I'm going to getting emotional sometime.
Yeah. No, you do.
You allow me to do that.
We-
say.
That's our humanity that shows through. Our emotions are our humanity.
Okay, we love this country of ours, our beautiful country, United States of America, and we love this beautiful flag of democracy. Oh, one thing for sure, I want to say something about the vote, encourage my friends
Yes, sir.
to walk on the vote. Your message?
Yeah. Look, when you live in this country and you have the opportunity to vote, it is not just an honor, it's an obligation. Be a part of our society and vote.
That's a good take. That's a good take.
That's real honor.
And I would say if we can back up, to all the way to the very bottom line. Let's be selfish.
Be selfish, serve yourself with your
Because
vote.
you vote for yourself.
Right, that's exactly right. You
vote
vote
for
for
yourself.
your beliefs.
And you're the one complaining. You now are offered with the right, and then you don't want to exercise it.
You're exactly
And
right.
who is sick?
You're exactly
Am
right.
I sick? You're sick, right?
You're exactly right.
Let's do it. Let's be selfish, all right? Okay, that wraps up. Thank you very much, my dear friend. To audiences, thank you for watching. And to
thank
my
you.
friend, thank you for sharing.
Love you all. Thank
Okay.
you.